when you have that instinct for the problem and solving it quickly and just hyper focus on the marketing conversion, yeah, you can be really, really successful, because the moment you say the problem and what they're solving, you're like, oh yeah, I totally see why anybody would pay for that.
Don't be fooled when the AI bubble pops. The only thing the bubble bursts that happens is it gets all the lame, not serious players out of there. The people who are just in it for the quick cash leave, and the people who are more serious and actually see the real value are the ones who stick around. It's likely to happen that we will see some disruption in the market. I will stay in the AI space. I hope you would too, because I still think the opportunity is still so massive, and the value it does deliver is so real when you can harness it in the right way. Welcome to another episode of AI After Hours, where we cut through the AI hype to show you how real entrepreneurs are actually making money with AI. Each month, we spotlight success stories from side hustlers to product builders who are turning AI tools into real revenue. And we call bullshit on the misconceptions that are holding everyone else back.
I'm your co-host, Yuying Chen-Wynn, technology and product executive, extensive experience in AI across fintech, edtech, and big tech. I'm an ex-chief product officer turned head of AI, currently the global leader of strategic AI co-Resnick, leading AI transformation. I've joined forces with Polly to help entrepreneurs and side hustlers generate more than a 10K a month revenue stream, and maybe even the confidence to ditch the 9-to-5 for good. And I love diving into real talk with AI on AI with my co-host.
Hi there, I'm Polly Allen. I'm an ex-Alexa AI principal product manager, where I successfully launched the very first generative answers on Alexa back in 2020. I'm a developer turned product exec, and I've been building AI-related products since 2008. And at AI Career Boost, we're all about helping AI work for you, whether you want to move up the career ladder or out entirely on your own AI product. And this month, it is our holiday edition of the AI Actors podcast. So I'm bringing back a tradition we've often had of a little bit of sipping a bevy, an adult beverage on the podcast while we chat. So I'll get more and more hilarious, at least to myself, as the podcast goes on, I'm sure.
That's always the goal, is at least be hilarious to ourselves.
Wonderful. Yeah. So we're going to kick it off today with monthly AI product success stories. So some success stories from on the ground entrepreneurs, solopreneurs who are winning in the AI race. Just more case studies on like, hey, how are people actually making this work? You've got a really cool one to kick us off, right?
I've got a fun one. I always look for the really, really fun ones are the ones that focus, I believe, on the right thing and the opportunity, the timing, and the marketing. Okay, so it's called Riz GPT. Now, you can actually find this in the App Store right now, just under Riz, R-I-Z-Z. Now, this was a kid who was, I think, only 22, 23 when this happened. It took him only about a month to develop. But fundamentally what it was is he had a bunch of young friends who are on dating apps and are like, oh my God, somebody just texted me. What do I say back? How do I sound cool and witty? And he's like, wait, AI can help with that. So essentially,
Absolutely.
GPT, all you do is you upload screenshots of the dating app, which you already have on the phone. This is a mobile app with whatever it was sent to you, and a screenshot of the bio of the person, and it will come up with witty and likely responses that'll get you some response, make you sound cool, etc. So he coded this in about a month with no prior background in terms of being able to develop in mobile. Basically asked ChatGPT all along the way, and then used Cursor to help him figure out how to develop this mobile app. He spent $100 on TikTok influencer promo, because this is a fun young thing. Hey, you want to sound cool on the dating apps, and here's an app that help you come up with your witty replies. He got 20,000 downloads in the first week.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, the ROI on that $100, very well spent. He hit pretty quickly. He hit 80K MRR.
Wow.
80,000 MRR, and his first year, 2.4 million. And that was his first app. The thing is, he's like, hey, wait, he had a really strong sense. If you look through his story, he's a very strong sense of not building complex products, but very much focused on a very specific scenario and solving for that, right? This is a very, very simple.
Super niche.
Somebody texted me, what do I say? I want to sound cool. I'm willing to pay so I can sound cool. he had more than he had additional apps. One of my favorite ones that is called Umax, which is become hot.
How to
It's
max
literally,
yourself.
it rates your attractiveness based on a pic, and they give you a recommendation of how to become hotter, like
Well, there we go. It's just
skincare,
good product
hairstyle.
check, right? You're like, I
Yeah,
need the benchmark, so I know which one where
yeah,
I'm above and below average, and then I need the tool to improve on those
yeah.
benchmarks.
So the two things, like you can see, he is hyper focused and has a great instinct for problems that people are willing to pay to solve. Number one.
Yeah,
Number two, in terms of his pricing, he's going for volume. He's not going for high price. He's like, look, number of subscribers matter. I'm not going for high pricing. I'm not going for like LTV. I'm going for just sheer number of conversions and subscribers. And he focuses all his efforts on the conversions. Like, how do I get people to pay? How do I get people to pay? How do I get people to pay? It is not on the technology behind the app. Is there some OCR? Yes. Is it like
yeah,
super tweaked AI that does, precise detection? No, not really. That's not really what he's focused on. So this kid has now, I believe, 3 apps, and his co-founder is even younger. It's about a 17-year-old. They have a couple of other ones. All total, he is past 15 million in revenue with what he's done, and he just keeps going, because
yeah,
when you have that instinct for the problem and
yeah.
solving it quickly and just hyper focus on the marketing conversion, yeah, you can be really successful. So I love this because it's the moment you say the problem and what they're solving, you're like, oh yeah, I totally see why anybody would pay for that. But
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that example and how these kids are just going for it without full technical training. It's awesome.
Right? I know. I really love how this is something that the youngest generation can really just quickly get their hands in, and you don't need it's like you don't need the systems around leading large numbers of people to get this done, which is something that tends to come with experience, right? That it's like, hey, you have an idea, you can go for it. Not that you have to be young to do this, but just it's exciting to see that it can really blow up so quickly. That's incredibly exciting. Oh my gosh. Wow.
If I
So
were
that was
dating, I probably would go check it out.
so it was Riz.ai was the first one. And
In the
then
App Store, it's just RIZZ. I just checked the App Store. It's still there.
it's just
It's
called
number
Riz.
98 in the lifestyle. It's called Riz. Yeah, it's called
Oh
Riz.
my gosh.
Who named
And
this?
then if you want to max yourself, it's Umax.
Yes, you maxed. Yeah. Yeah, the title literally says "Become Hot." I'm like, all
Huh.
right.
It's just like no longer on my top life goals anymore. I'm like, is there a you mid when you're middle aged?
You okay?
You yeah, exactly. You passable. I think we got a niche, Yuying. We got to go for it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
There we go. We're gonna make a clone on you. You
With
okay?
Umax, just called you passable, you publicly presentable. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
that's an amazing example. I've got a different one that is more recent, and I've been super excited. I'll also introduce our listeners to a creator I'm enraptured with as well, Sabrina Romanoff. For those of you who may have seen her on her TikTok, on Instagram, it was already a founder who had co-founded a startup called Curious, which was an NLP startup in healthcare. It was
Wow.
acquired
Okay.
by Pegasystems for $10 million. So she wasn't entirely new to the tech space or the business space, but she wasn't a programmer. That wasn't her background. And she also decided to found a company and keep it for as long as she could as like a solo founder, no team kind of thing. Certainly no team, no employees. So
Hmm.
she launched Blotato, BLOTATO.com. No,
All right.
she's
Fun
not
name.
paying us or anything for recommendations. But I've been trying it out. I've been pretty impressed in terms of a platform for AI, social media content generation and repurposing. It's especially got some great content, some great tools around like headless AI videos and that kind of thing, but
Okay.
especially making it easy to repurpose content across multiple platforms. Um, and then interestingly, because she was focused on social media content, she's always testing like, hey, what works in terms of AI generated content? So can I scale myself using social media AI generated content? So she grew between the founding of this on October 2024 to April 2025. She'd grown 500,000 followers in just 6 months, fully organic, no team
Wow.
and no ad spend, right? So 500,000
Wow.
hit over 50 million views in 6 months. If you do see her social media stuff, you'll notice like she's savvy in this space. She's making good social media, and it's all about it's really high value. It's things people are asking for. She's very got like the she's able to really nail on hooks that are like people want to know this right now, right? Um, but I just appreciate that, you know, she's obviously got something where she gets a really good pulse and then she creates really good and valuable content. So it's not like this is all smoke and mirrors, right? But then I've seen her speak and she talked about how at this point now in mid to late 2025, about a year in, she was speaking about she's up to 1.4 million followers. So again, just
Wow.
like increasing that speed. She has over 500 or close to 500,000 followers on Instagram. She maintains she's never logged into Instagram, doesn't really know how it works, right? So this is all just like the degree to which she's repurposing like automatic content
Wow.
creation and just repurpose content not created for that platform, which traditionally is actually kind of hard to do, right? A lot of people will say, oh, you can repurpose it, but it's never going to do as well as stuff created for that platform. So it's been pretty impressive to watch that whatever she's doing, it works, at least for her. And then she takes those and, of course, tries to fold all those lessons into Blotato. So she has been maintaining as of mid to late 2025. Blotato is definitely profitable. She has not been super open about exactly the number of subscribers or exactly the revenue amounts, which, hey, that's fair, right? There's a certain degree of openness that we can ask for from these creators. But she has talked about there being thousands of subscribers, and she charges about $10 to $20 a month, depending on the tier. So there's a free trial, and then it's $10 to $20 a month once you start publishing, a certain amount of content, or after a certain amount of the free trial time has expired. So you can figure out she's at at least 5-figure, possibly low 6-figure MRR, right? As a solo founder. And one of the things I love that she's the most transparent about is her tech stack. So she's talked a lot about, she uses Cloud Code. She vibe coded the first version of this. She has, since then gotten some like technical consultants and people that she works with in order to help her actually scale it. But the first version, she vibe coded that and got it to launch, which is very cool. And then she's also got a lot of her background operations. So she uses N8N for her customer support, for example. And she estimates it's probably taking care of about 80% of her customer support tickets at this point. She's also using it for like recruiting workflows and like constantly scanning for like new engineering talent she might want to talk to early. She's looking for technical co-founders or people to bring on later on. And then, of course, she does a lot of the custom posting automations. She uses make.com alongside N8N for social media automation. And then she'll even talk about how she's using AI tools like Puzzle for finance and things like that. So just how much of her own company is accelerated by some of these other startups that are out there, right? So absolutely fascinating to see. I can't wait to watch her to watch her continued story as she grows. But it's really cool to see that it was very smart of her to align with like, hey, the thing my tool does, if I do that well, one, I have leads, but two, it's also serving as social proof for my tool at the same time, right? I thought that was a really nice combo that she's got going on. And she's just a really inspiring creator to follow as well. For women in the group, she does have a school community that's free if you want to join and learn along, beside what she's doing. She provides a lot of encouragement for women in the community, because there are not enough women who are getting into this or feel empowered to go do this. So highly encourage. I found it a really valuable community myself. So
nice. All right.
really, really cool to see. So hopefully we'll see some success stories with Blotato and find out how much it gets acquired for eventually. But again, it's really inspiring to see what you can do all by yourself, right? To be able to have grown this so quickly, so fast, all on our own. Highlights how
I mean, across the industry, everyone is betting that there will be a solopreneur unicorn, which is a $1 billion evaluation application or company that's a solopreneur. I think based on what we're seeing, it's entirely possible we'll see it within maybe not this year since we're already in December, but definitely in 2026, I think.
Yeah. It's coming fast. That's definitely what it feels like, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you like how I'm getting
Sure.
Christmassier by the second here? I was like, every time it cuts to me, I'm going to be wearing more warm, cozy Christmas paraphernalia. If you're just listening by audio, you can't tell, but I've got a big fuzzy red blanket,
I'm
Christmas
waiting for
blanket
like
around me now.
this thing. I don't know if this is gonna show up or the AI is gonna cut me out. I think the AI is gonna cut me out here.
Oh, you can't see in the background?
No, I have these little antler things.
No.
That's not. It's considered not part of my head anymore. So it's.
Damn you, AI. Oh,
Where's the edge detection on this? Yeah.
exactly. Well, that is our section all about the entrepreneurs this week. Very exciting to see what's happening in that space. But now we have time for our next section, our favorite.
Oh, yes. So this is my personal favorite, and I think I have convinced Paulina that this is her personal favorite segment of all podcasts, anywhere, anytime. And not just because we're biased. This is our favorite section. It's the BS in AI segment where we call out the hype, the BS, the complete over dramatization of what is happening in the AI world. And sometimes we just vent and rant. So this is why it's our favorite. But in terms of this month, Polly, do you want to kick us off with your BS in AI?
My BS, absolutely. So I'll title my BS, Don't Be Fooled When the AI Bubble Pops. There's been a lot of hype, again, about the AI is a giant bubble. There's stats that like this AI, let's just call it out. This is the rum talking. The AI circle jerk going on between some of the big companies that are happening is going to end poorly for investors, and we're going to see a big market crash around AI. And it's interesting because it's like it's been mid 2023 they were calling for this big market crash, right? And then of course every summer since then, there's always been July. They're like, are we crazy? Is this massive hallucination? Like, are we deluded? This even works, right? So we'll see, some of the news cycles lately have been about some of the way hallucinations are still ruining results and actually costing companies money. We've seen Deloitte has gotten caught with delivering a $1.6 million research project that ended up having, containing hallucinations. So it's definitely something where like there's some places where people want to poke holes in the value delivered by AI. They're able to do that, right? But we've been able to do that all along. I do think there's a pretty big risk that over the next 6 to 12 months that there is some market fallout from these big companies, the way that they have invested so much, especially in each other, in these kind of round robin, pass the buck, where OpenAI is investing in NVIDIA is investing in the next company, and then investing just purely in like data or the hardware and infrastructure, right? Because they feel like it's a winner take all game. So they're trying to invest in these in the hardware. They're firing people in order to afford to invest in the hardware. And we're also finding at the same time, sometimes the hardware isn't always necessarily the thing, right? Lighter, smaller models, special purpose models. There's lots of other ways besides everyone depending on the latest and greatest LLM to actually get value from this. Anyway, upside, to make this a much more interesting bullshit story. The bullshit is when the bubble pops, does that mean that AI doesn't actually have any value, right? And of course, a lot of people talk about the analogies to the internet bubble. A great analogy there is how Amazon weathered that storm. And all throughout the great bubble bursting in 99, 2000, Jeff Bezos was called an idiot. New York Times wrote and called it Amazon.bomb, right? There were other stores and even bookstores out there like books.com that were out there trying to sell things on the internet. And a lot of them did not succeed. But Jeff Bezos, who had retained enough of an ownership share to have the independence to do this, he doubled down in that era, right? He was like, I know that everyone is saying, oh, this internet thing, it was a total boondoggle, because he doubled down, right? And that's really the genesis of why, like, the seeds of Amazon being the juggernaut it is today, right? The growth it saw, explosive growth it saw out of that bubble pop burst and the fallout. I think that's the thing to keep in mind, whether you're thinking about a company or investing in yourself in terms of your AI knowledge, or whether you've been like, ooh, I don't want to start a company yet because if it's an AI company, what if the bubble bursts, right? The only thing the bubble bursts that happens is it gets all the lame, not serious players out of there, right? The people who are just in it for the quick cash leave, and the people who are more serious and actually see the real value are the ones who stick around. So that's my call out here. It's likely to happen that we will see some disruption in the market. I wouldn't be surprised. I will stay in the AI space. I hope you would too, because I still think the opportunity is still so massive and the value it does deliver is so real when you can harness it in the right way. What's your take on that, Yuying? You've got more of the
Yeah.
background financial perspective on the bubble situation.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't believe I still get asked whether I think there's an AI bubble or what happened to it. The thing I would say is separate the bubble of the evaluation dollar amount when there
Yeah.
is no revenue or no underlying technology yet.
Yeah.
Those evaluation dollars of like $1 billion in evaluation of a company solely based on the resume of the founders,
Yeah.
right?
That's always been can be
That's
bullshit.
air. That's air. That's
Yeah.
like just betting on the fact that somebody with those kind of creds can produce business revenue technology that's worth that much.
Yeah.
Right? Those
Absolutely.
things, those numbers are definitely going to fall. Now, the big AI companies really hasn't hit the public market yet. Nvidia is the one that suffers or both suffer and benefit the most because they're public and they're deeply associated with the AI. If you look at the Microsoft stock as it goes up and down, it doesn't fluctuate as much. So when they say the bubble, when I go, okay, if it's the evaluation put on companies based on investment, that for sure will change.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're going to watch for is when OpenAI, now that it's for profit, go public. What happens to that valuation, and then what happens to Anthropic if it takes that next step or gets sold? That's what the bubble
Yeah.
means. The thing to separate that, usually people go, oh, if there's a bubble, that means that AI is going to be dead, like
Right.
crypto, like
Yeah.
blockchain, and
Right.
it's just going to go away, right? And I'm like, okay, number one, if you look at crypto and blockchain, it's back. It's
Mm-hmm.
not gone. Number two, the technology underneath this is so much deeper and more advanced that what anchored the internet, right? The internet
Yeah.
bubble, a big part of it is that what the innovation comes from the pure business model. The technology of what enabled the internet is actually very simple and straightforward, right? It's a protocol. You can share things and you can make information available over the internet. That's it. Technology wise, it is a very, very easy tech relative to what's going into AI today. I'm like, that is
Exactly.
heavy, heavy duty years and decades of technology that's arriving at a point of maturity that you can do so many things with. I was like, separate those two. Is there going to be some stock price fluctuation? Yes. Is there going to be evaluation downgrades? Yes. Does that mean AI is going to implode? No, absolutely not. So that's the thing I
Absolutely.
would separate. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. Exactly. And I think that's the key piece to keep in mind. There's always more nuance, right? And there's never any room for nuance in like the main media or people who are just new to the space. They just like either AI is amazing or AI is nothing. And it's like if you can keep that in mind, separate out the market turmoil from the real value you can get from it, that'll be key.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that's my bullshit. Don't be fooled when the AI bubble pops. How about yours, Yuying?
All right, it's a little bit related, but this like doom and gloom around AI, whether or not it completely changes the world or it's Terminator tomorrow, seems to happen with any major move. So, Ian LeCun, which is one of the preeminent AI research guys that everybody in the field looks up to
Yeah.
as one of the pioneers, who had been for the longest time the head of research in AI over at Meta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Access to a tremendous amount of data and information, really a great place to do that kind of work. He is leaving Meta to start his own company. Now, the first headlines you read is essentially going, hey, this guy is leaving Meta because everything we're doing with LLMs is wrong, and he's leaving Meta to go. It kind of just like, oh, it's a signal that either everything Meta doing is wrong or everything AI that we're doing is wrong. All of LLM is wrong,
Yeah.
and it's all just gonna collapse. I was just
Right.
like,
And
what?
then hence the bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. I mean, number one, I just said major people based on their resume, they can go out and raise whatever money they want to right now.
Yeah,
And Ian LeCoup's definitely one of those, right? Look at
totally.
Mira, the ex-CTO of OpenAI, right?
Hmm.
Look at Ilya. They all can do that. And if you have the ability to raise that and have complete independence and develop very, very deep technology that you believe is the right direction, wouldn't you do that to have that independence? I totally would. So what what the good thing is in LinkedIn, he actually came out and go, look, this is what I'm leaving to go do because
Yeah,
I think there will be a certain limitation. I'm going for a new, different approach of AI, which is the idea of world building. So LLMs fundamentally kind of predict the next word based on how humans normally respond. So it needs a huge amount of data to kind of abstract out patterns and then respond like a human. But basically, he goes, look, how we learn, you and I as human beings, as we grow up in the world, we're not trying to predict the next word or trying to copy what other people say. We are by our sensory kind of inputs and outputs starting to build a model of how the world works in our head. It's like, ooh, that red thing, when I touch that, that burned me. And if I try it again, it still did. Okay, so I'm going to mark that down as an attribute in the world. That's how we kind of think about it. So one of the fundamentally in AI research, because people ask me about if I'm concerned about environmental concerns that AI develops, is the scientists all know that there is an issue with the power and memory consumption needed with AI technology today. So everybody is looking at how do humans actually possess a level of intelligence without needing that amount of power. Right? And so there's different approaches to it. There's symbolic reasoning, there's this world building, and different AI researchers have different directions that they all pursue in this similar end goal. It doesn't mean that the LLM and the technology today won't be able to accomplish quite a bit with just given what we have for today. And those type of technologies take a bit to develop and
yeah,
actually mature, right? So all of
exactly.
AI has been trying for what, since 1970s. We're not going to just suddenly come up with a brand new thing that mimics exactly how human develop
Totally,
intelligence. So
exactly.
yeah, it's a great thing that these top researchers are pursuing new approaches that will be much more environmentally friendly, power consumption much more minimal, much faster, much
Exactly.
more agile.
Solving a lot of
It
these challenges.
doesn't negate everything along the way.
Right along the way. Absolutely. I think it's important to remember that folks like Jan LeCun, like Jeffrey Hinton, like these godfathers of AI, they were working on this stuff decades ago. And when the actual like CPUs, GPUs we had weren't powerful enough to really do anything except for maybe prove that the concept might have some validity if you got enough data, right? So they were able to look forward 10, 20 years and see like this kind of thing coming. And so now they've been working with what the technology we have today for a while. But what really excites these folks is thinking about the future. What's 5, 10 years down the line, right? And to get to go do that would be really motivating as well. So yeah, they understand the limitations. Jan LeCun in particular, he's a really great follow because he's of all of the great Godfather guys out there. Unfortunately, they're all guys. Um, he's the most pragmatic. Like you never hear him go off the handle and start freaking out about AGI taking over the nuclear codes and stuff like this, right? He's just like, guys, let's be really reasonable. Here's some advantages of this. I admit they're amazing, but there's a bunch of limitations. And one of the limitations he's always really clear about, which is really important to remember, is that, this whole idea of AI moving to the physical world, these real world models, robotics, being able to manipulate things and stuff, we have to digitize enough data
World.
to be able to about the world and how it works, right? And whereas like words on the internet were something where we had this vast resource we could just go mine, we don't have that about a lot of things that are all the context and stuff that are going to actually make these things that so useful that they could quote unquote replace humans and really be AGI, right? So he's been very reasonable in pointing out kind of like this will hit a wall in terms of how far could it go, as far as how much of the world can it even understand if there's a bunch that hasn't been digitized and stuff before, right? So he's a really great follow, but I totally agree that him leaving Meta, it's not the end of Meta, it's not the end of AI, it's not the end of open source, it's not the end of LLMs. Like people just take these things and extrapolate it so far. I'm really excited to see what it'll be building on next. And these are the folks to watch to know what's coming in the future, right? What's coming down the line.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It is fascinating to think about how we learn and kind of put together how we interact with the physical world. Like, I mean, we really, we develop the laws of physics to understand our world, right? So you go, how
Yeah.
can we create a machine that do something similar? It is very, very cool. I look forward to a couple of these directions to see how they pan out. But no, it definitely does not mean that LLMs are over and it's all going to implode on itself.
I still feel like if we just took the technology where it has even 6 months ago, we've got years of runway to like fully taking advantage of it, for that advantage to really like blend into the economy. So like, I think that's the important thing to remember. There's so much more good stuff to come along the line. Good stuff and risky
Yeah,
stuff. We gotta stay
for
vigilant
sure.
too.
I'm still waiting for my flying cars. I've been watching the Jetsons
Right?
since I was little. I'm like, where are my flying cars? I need my flying cars. All the traffic. I can't.
Totally. I still want my dishwashing and my laundry folding machines. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. And then make
Where's the real
smoothies
use
and then
for
I'm
AI?
done.
Exactly. I don't need a haiku.
Yeah.
Do my dishes. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, that is BS section. We have one time for one last section, and that is our plugs. What do we have to plug coming up for January? I think we've got a lightning lesson coming up, right?
Oh, we do. So on the 20, I believe it's the 26th, this will be a great lightning lesson because we're going to be showing the demo of all of our students and their like create apps and businesses, everything that we've been talking about, supporting entrepreneurs to create this kind of businesses, to create side hustle income stream for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The first cohort is graduating, and we want to invite you to come see all of our students, give them feedback, maybe subscribe, and they
Exactly.
have some great, great business ideas for you. And we can't wait to show
More
them.
than ideas, they have real live products. It's so exciting to already see what they built and what's going to be live. Honestly, I remember when we started this meeting, we were like, is this going to work? Can we actually see them doing this? And we have people already. December 1st, they're already making money. There are people who are making revenue.
Yep,
Absolutely.
yep.
And they've got their beta users. We're in full swing. It's been so exciting to see how quickly AI can take them down that path and actually get them to revenue. So come see the success stories. Maybe there's something useful you want to subscribe to. We've got some great SaaS products for you.
Yeah. Or kick off your own idea and
Exactly.
join the AI builders. Yeah.
That's right. We'll have another cohort of our Escape Velocity program kicking off in February. So this you can get an idea of what you could build. Amazing. And lastly, we always like to shamelessly plug the show. So don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast pipe and give us 5 stars. If you want to reach out with questions, you send us them to support@myaiafterhours.com. So that's my AI After Hours. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what else you'd love to hear on the show. Let us know. Awesome. Well, that's been another episode of AI After Hours, and we will see you all next month. Cheers. My eggnog is gone. So, you know I got hilarious by now.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye for now.